be nice. And just like that, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the #1 gambling podcast. This side of the Mississippi and the left side of the Mississippi, we are betting the diagonal with your boys, Morgan, a.k.a. MoWatch26, with my other boy, Billy the Kid, Billy FFD. Billy boy, how you doing tonight?
Doing good. Doing well. I got cucked a couple times this weekend, but it is what it is. We're still positive on the year, still bringing in positive energy, positive vibes, good juju only. Mr. Mo Watts, how you feeling?
Feeling great. Feeling grand. Feeling like $1,000,000. I've never felt better. I feel great this week. How many times can I say I feel great till you finally believe it? That's what we're trying to get at here. We're doing great. Everything's fine. It's all good. There's no fires going on around me or anything. But we're onwards and upwards. We're moving forward. I'm excited. I'm ecstatic. I'm doing great.
You sure?
I'm doing great.
How you doing?
Doing great. I need a big sign. Great.
Doing great. Games were fun last week. A lot of big games.
They were amazing. They were great. Yeah. Everything's great.
The Tom Brady return to New England kind of lived up to the hype. It was a good game.
I wish, looking back in retrospect from a gambling perspective, I do wish I would have looked at the weather a little bit more. I did not look at that in the slightest bit when I was picking that game. I went solely off my heart and what I thought was going to happen. I do think had the weather not been a factor, I do think it would have happened. But, I mean, neither quarterback could push the ball. The ball was spinning out of Brady's hand left and right. I don't think I've ever actually seen Brady so inaccurate in a single game. Like, it was actually kind of amazing.
He looked
but the game was
rattled
not
in the
bad.
first half.
He did. He looked very rattled. He was not prepared. I think he underplayed the emotions of going back to Foxborough very big. I told you last week, I expected him to put on a show. I think a lot of people expected him to put on a show. He didn't put on a show. Now we know who he has his fewest career passing yards in a single game against. That would be the Patriots. So
didn't think we'd ever see that.
Yeah, exactly. It was a fun game. It was a good game to watch. It was, little chess match, which made it interesting. It's nice to see something that's not always a shootout. I want to see a little tit for tat every now and then.
Yeah. I did say, like, when we went over the game last week and we were both on the Bucks, I opened up with, like, this is probably a square bet. This is probably not going to win. That was my thought on it. It was just like, over the last 10 years or so since I've been gambling, you don't not gamble. I mean, you don't place money against Tom Brady when he's in New England. It's just like
that was what we said. You don't bet against Tom Brady.
You don't bet against Tom Brady, especially in New England. Doesn't matter what team he's playing for.
We did it in the Super Bowl. It fucked us. We did it this week. It fucked us.
It happens.
What are you gonna do? It's not the first time I've been fucked this season. It probably won't be the last.
Listen, it is what it is. I got screwed over by the referees in a game that we were on opposite sides of. We'll get into it because they're on my card again. I don't want to get too crazy into it. Quick, Morgan, yet again, sorry to inform you. I got to go over the records.
Just a quick disclaimer. If you're watching this episode, please watch the next episode tomorrow. My record is much better in college football than NFL. I'm very well aware that NFL is not my strength. I try. I'm giving it the old college effort. There's a reason I went for 6 years.
That doesn't shock me that you went to school for 6 years.
It actually might have been 7 years, to be honest. If we're really getting down to the math of it, it might have been 7. But we know that I'm not a good math guy here.
The NFL still the hardest sport to wager on. I am 11-15. The prop bets have been what's killing me. Without the prop bets, I would be 500. It is what it is. I stand by my picks, win, lose, or draw, because I'm placing all of them. Mr. Mo Watts is just getting killed, and I feel so bad because he is a dear friend of mine.
The NFL is running train on me this season.
Yeah. Yep. And then, guys, if you're sitting at home thinking, why is this kid still on the podcast? I have the same questions. I said
There's nobody better. We
I
tried to
told
bring the third
myself,
chair back, but he couldn't commit to posting one play a day.
yeah, it is what it is. Mr. Mo Watts is 20-31. I have faith that he'll bring it closer to 500 by the time the season
I feel
ends.
really good about this week. I feel great.
That's because you're only betting on one spread this week, so it's
Two spreads.
we'll see. Anyway, like I said, NFL's the hardest sport to gamble on. It is. Everybody knows it. That's where the sports books really make their money. Um, let's kick it off. I want to hear your best bet of the weekend, Morgan. I don't want you to give me some fluffy nonsense. I want the
I think
nitty
we both
gritty
know
best
what
bet.
the best bet of the weekend is. I think we're both on our bet. We both have the same best bet of the weekend. I think you just have a different variation of it than I do. Bills plus 2.5. Absolutely best bet. I'm in two plays on this game. Billy, I know, is on Bills money line. A little spoiler right there. Sorry to steal your thunder.
It's
I'm
fine.
on the Bills Chiefs over 56.5. I'm on the Bills plus 2.5. I will also be on the Bills money line. The Bills are they are the better team than the Chiefs this year. The Chiefs are very much having a Super Bowl hangover type of season. Their defense is atrocious. They are the number 31 ranked defense in the NFL this year. They're giving up 437.8 yards per game on the defensive side. It's not getting any better anytime soon. They don't have like a Josh Gordon that's suspended. They're going to go sign off the streets and is going to play on the defensive side of the ball. This game is going to be awesome. I'm super excited to watch this. I love that this is the Sunday night primetime game. It just makes it awesome. These two teams, there's going to be so many points scored. Kansas City's averaging 33.5 points per game this year. Oh, yeah, Buffalo's also putting up 33.5 points per game this season. Not too bad. Buffalo had that real tough week one, and we said, and I said it 2 weeks ago, that Miami game was going to be a get-right game for Buffalo. It was going to be a chance for them to get it together thing, and that's what they did. They came out last week. I had that Buffalo Texans over 47. The Bills almost did it themselves, just like I said. They nearly did it all alone. If the Texans could have just done one thing on offense, we would have been fine. But you can't trust anything from Houston, obviously. But Buffalo is clicking on all cylinders right now. Like I said last week, they have incorporated the running game into their attack. It is just firing for them. Dawson Knox is looking great out there, tight end. Cole Beasley is doing Cole Beasley things early on in the year out of the slot, which has been great. Stephon Diggs. Josh Allen hasn't been too bad. He's starting to pick it up also. A little bit of a slow start to the season. He's starting to pick it up. As for the total in this game, you got two quarterbacks who are combined 23 touchdown passes through 4 games. Like there is going to be points put up on this one big time. They are through the 4 games. They lead the league in yards per game at number 2 and number 6, the Chiefs and the Bills. It is going to be a track meet in this game. Bills enter this game as an underdog. Total has hit the over in each of Buffalo's last 5 games as the dog. I love this game. I'm on Bills everything on this one.
Yep, I lean the over. I won't be making a play on it. I think it's a high number. There's no reason why it shouldn't go over. Like you alluded to, I will be on Bills money line, and as well as the points just to be safe. It's a 2.5. Like I obviously you'd like it better if it was a 3, but like I said, from my opinion, I think we're gonna look back on this line when the Bills are in the Super Bowl and laugh at the bookmakers. This is such an obvious line. It's like the Bills are a much better team on both sides of the ball. It's, Josh Allen cruising, using every weapon on the field. Chiefs D has been horrible, allowing 291 passing yards per game and 12 yards per completion. They're gonna run into this buzzsaw of a Buffalo Bills offense. Oh man, forget about it.
And it
It's
was a
the
big
easiest
revenge
choice.
factor for last year's playoffs.
Yeah, it
Big
was.
revenge factor.
Bills are coming off a revenge game, going into another revenge game. They circled this. Both teams circled this. Let's not play it like it's something it's not. This is the biggest game of the season for both these teams. But if the Bills win this game, they are the best team in the league, and it's not close.
I agree with
It's
you. I
it's
agree with
not.
you very
They're the
much.
most complete team. Um, I'll be taking the money line, but if you want to take the points to be safe, be my guest. Bills are 12-3 against the spread in the last 15 games. Last 15 games for the Chiefs been pretty much the other way, 3-12.
Not
Bills are
good.
four. Bills are four
Not
and
good.
one against the spread in the last 5 as an underdog. Chiefs are 1-4 in the last 5 as a favorite. Yeesh.
I were talking about that during the Eagles game, Eagles Chiefs this week. For as great as the Chiefs are, and I think as they said, like their last 15 games before this Eagles game, they had only had one win of more than 10 points.
Yep.
Like for as great as they are, they're not as dominant as you kind of think.
It's
Like, their
because they
defense
can't stop
really holds them
anybody.
back. They can't stop shit. They have no pass rush. Like they aren't getting anything. That Chris Jones being transitioned to defensive end has not worked in the slightest bit. They should have left him as a 3 technique nose tackle where he was getting pressure. He's not. He's athletic, but he is not defensive end athletic, where he can has that quick twitch to get around the corner with these strong and fast left tackles. He can bully guards all day. Absolutely, that's how he gets his 10+ sacks a year. Not anymore. They don't have the corners. I mean, the Eagles just put up numbers against them. Eagles put up numbers and made that defense look bad.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
It's the Bills. It's the Bills. It's the Bills by a lot. I told Morgan before we started recording, I think the Bills can win by double digits. I wouldn't go as far as take an alternate line on it. I'm not that much of a psychopath, but I do think that the Bills win decently easily. Jonas should be back. It should be a run in the park. The game shouldn't be all that close, but you never know when it comes to Patrick Mahomes. It's gonna be a good game. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm this game. Everyone, even if you're not even a gambler, if you're just a football fan, you circled this game when the schedule got released. This was the Buccaneers Buccaneers Patriots, Bills Chiefs. Those are the games you circled at the beginning of the year.
There's been some real good games to start the year. We had the Cardinals Rams last week. We got a lot of good games this year. I'm happy.
There's more good games this week too. Like there's some really good ones. Like Thursday night's game. We were just saying before the show. Rams Seahawks. That's a pretty damn good game for a Thursday night game. Like it's gonna have my attention.
It segues into my next bet. I'm gonna be on the Rams. It's a bounce back game, and going against division rival. The Rams beat themselves last week. I saw it coming. I knew that the Cardinals would step up to the game, step up the plate, beat them outright. I said it on the show. I was going to take the money line, but I gave out the points on Twitter just to be safe. There was no, I should have given out both of them so my record would look better. But it is what it is. I'm trying. I should start doing that, gain a little momentum. But listen, the Rams struggled last week against a run. But the good news for the Rams is the Seahawks haven't had a 100-yard rusher in the last 22 games. Chris Carson isn't getting it done.
I'm well aware of that.
Alex Collins isn't getting it done.
First round pick. So
you're an idiot. Is what you are. DJ Dallas, non-existent.
Understand rules.
No, that's because you struggle with reading. The Rams, to me, are just too talented, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And then you're going to be going up against that Seattle O-line that's just been hot garbage. Doesn't give Russ any time to throw the ball, no time to run a play action. It's Rams or bust for me. To me, the Rams are top 3 team, and the other best team is in their division, and it's the Cardinals, who, by the way, I will say, you laughed at me when I said the Cardinals were going to win that division. I mean, hey, they look pretty good, don't they?
If I remember correctly, I said I thought the Cardinals were going to come in last place in the division. So
when you're cold, you're cold,
What are you going to do? It started early this year.
I will say that DK Metcalf torched Jalen Ramsey last year, but Jalen Ramsey looked like on a whole different level of playing last week when he played against D-Hop. They have history together, though, so it could be a repeat of last year. Rams 5-1 in the last 6 games, following up straight-up loss against the spread. Rams are also 12-3-1 against the spread in the last 16, following an against the spread loss. And Rams are 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 meetings against the Seahawks. Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, anytime touchdown, lock it into. Love that.
Man, you got to take it. You got to ride with it. You got to just keep going. Yeah, I love that pick. I said last week that I thought the Cardinals would win because it was just a letdown game after the Buccaneers game for the Rams. I think this is again another get right game for the Rams where it's kind of like, okay, we're going to reestablish ourselves a little bit. Matt Stafford didn't have a great week last week. This is again, we said in the beginning we liked Matt Stafford as a borderline MVP candidate. This is a big time show for him where he can put up numbers. The Seahawks defense isn't that great. So, this is a good chance for him to really reestablish himself in that race, kind of close the gap on Kyler, and get back there. I can't tell if you're about to talk or if you're just yawning at me right now.
Yawning. Sorry, Dad. Sorry, buddy.
All right. All right. Before we go to the next pick, anything else you got on that one, or do you want me to move forward?
No, you can move forward. Give me your next pick.
All right. Next pick, we were going to take the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants over 52.5 points. I don't like either of these teams. I'm an Eagles fan. I hate both of these teams. However, both of these teams have decent offenses, one of them being much better than decent. They are able to put up points, in a sense, at will for the Cowboys. They have so many weapons for them right now. Dak is looking like an MVP, as everyone kind of thought he could at the beginning of the year and everything. The CeeDee Lamb connection has always been great. Yes, Amari Cooper is a little banged up. Oh, but they're going to get Michael Gallup back this week, more than likely. It's not bad when you add a just under 1,000-yard receiver to your offense that's already loaded at every position. The combo of Zeke and Tony Pollard are clicking on all cylinders right now. For all the criticism that Zeke got in the beginning of the season and how he looked toast and everything, Cowboys lead the league in rushing yards per game at 165.8 yards per game. So you're still very balanced. They're doing something right. Oh, and the Giants are the 24th ranked run defense in the league, allowing 4.5 yards per carry. So Dallas is going to be able to just pound that rock as much as they want to, which is going to open up the play action passing game for Dak, which he loves to do. And we have now seen Dak start to incorporate his tight ends into the offense, a.k.a. Dalton Schultz. So we can look for him to have some nice numbers. And Amari Cooper, if he does play, will put up some numbers as well. On the Giants side of the ball, they are still able to move the ball. Yes, they're only averaging 20.8 points per game right now. On the road, they're averaging 28, though. So they can put up numbers on the road. Daniel Jones, for as much as we give him shit and everything, he can put up garbage points. He can sling it. He can run. Saquon Barkley has had a little bit of a resurgence the past couple of weeks, and he's kind of looking like the guy everyone kind of thinks he should be and everything. So that bodes really well. And the Dallas Cowboy defense, though better than last year, still isn't all that great. It's got pieces. Trayvon Diggs looks very nice at corner, but he's not covering Saquon Barkley. Barkley's still going to run down the middle and everything. Cowboys just released Jalen Smith today. Don't think that's a huge loss for the Cowboys, to be honest.
That was strange.
It was, well, yeah. They were talked about it in the offseason, I remember, because it was when Parsons was still at linebacker. They are a nickel defense base, and they couldn't play Vander Esch, Parsons, and Jalen Smith all at the same time. Yeah. With them getting a little bit healthier now, I'm assuming one of the factors in this move is that Marcus Lawrence maybe is healing from that broken leg a little bit faster than they thought he would be. And they can maybe look to get Parsons back there at linebacker at some point, or still rushing and get Vander Esch more time on the field. There's still a defense that the ball can be moved upon. So I do think Daniel Jones is able to move the ball on them, whether it's on the ground or through the air. So I do think this number is very attainable. I think the Cowboys honestly can put up 35 just themselves. Like this is, the Giants defense is not very good. Like it's got James Bradbury is a nice corner. The Cowboys have too many weapons. There's just too much that you can give the ball to. Head-to-head matchups with these teams, the total has gone over in 4 of the last 5 head-to-head matchups, and it has hit 9 of 12 times in their last matchups in Dallas. So they definitely put up points in these games. Additionally, Dallas has hit the over in 20 of their last 26 home games against a team with a losing record. So I'm taking the over in this game. I know I hit it a couple weeks ago with Dallas and the Chargers. They didn't do it. I think this is the week they will hit it this week for sure.
Yeah, I'm on the same thing. I'm oddly excited for this game, though. I said on FFD, I'll say it again. This could wind up being the second best game of the weekend. Obviously, after Jets Falcons at 9:30 in the morning, you know what I'm saying?
Wait.
No, that's just a joke. But I do think it's gonna be a good game. These two teams always play each other extremely hard. it's a rivalry game. When it comes down to it, it's a rivalry game. They're gonna try to keep scoring on each other. I lean the Cowboys -7, to be honest with you. I'm gonna be teasing them. I'll give you a better breakdown of that in a little bit. But I'm on the over as well. He just gave you all the stats, all the reasons behind it. I'm a man of the eye test when it comes to betting on totals, when it comes to looking at defenses. Dallas defense, Diggs is playing out of his mind. That's a fact. But outside of that, like Michael Parsons has created some pressures on the quarterback, but he's not doing anything that's really changing the game. Outside of Diggs, there's not really anybody there on defense. They're not playing good defense. They're giving up the second most yards in the NFL through the air. Danny Dimes playing by far the best football he's ever played in his life. Only has one turnover, and that was on a Hail Mary in the second half of the game. Before the second half, last week's game. Like you said, Dak and company, they can put up 40 points any given Sunday. Pun intended. Give me the over 52.5. And we're going to be teasing the Cowboys. Just a little teaser. We'll save that for a little bit.
Little teaser.
Yeah, little tease.
We always love a good little tease.
Dude, my teasers are hitting like crazy. 3-0, 3-0, 3-0.
I already said it to you earlier. I'll tell everyone listening, watching right now. I'm riding on the teaser. The boy's hot. He's reading the card with teaser as well. I'm riding the hot hand.
Now he's reading the teaser well, and I've been begging him for 3 weeks. He doesn't ride with me. Doesn't want to ride with me.
That's conjecture. Conjecture.
Can we get a quick story time before the next pick?
Your Honor, we always have good time for story time.
Quick story time.
Oh. Is this going to be an anti-me story?
Yes, it is.
Oh, I don't know if I like this. Text it to me in the group in the chat.
No, you know exactly what story this is. This has to do with your 76ers. So, the Monday night, at like 5:30. No, Tuesday. It was Tuesday.
Tuesday night.
Was it not?
Yeah, it was Tuesday night.
No, Monday night. It was definitely Monday because I told Mike after. Monday night, the Raptors played at home for the first time in over 500 days with fans. They just so happened to be playing against Mr. Mo Watts' 76ers. It was preseason NBA. It means nothing. Normally, I would never gamble on such a thing. But for the first time in over 500 days in the entire country of Canada, there will be fans in a building for a sporting event. You don't think that the Canada Pride, people screaming, "Oh, Canada," is not going to fire up that team, even if it is preseason, on a 2-point spread? I text Morgan, take it. Don't worry about who they're playing. He goes, I know exactly who they're playing. They're playing my team. I said, I don't care. It doesn't matter. Take the Raptors. You know what he did? Didn't take them. They won by almost 30. Easy money in his pocket. He's not a rider. He's not a rider. Confirmed, not a rider. That's my story time. Story time's over.
It is what it is. I just want to point out that our boy Jiminy is back in the chat.
My window's open.
Here. I love it. I have something funny I want to tell you, but I'll tell you off stream that I just found. So we'll get to that later. All right, what's your next pick?
My next pick.
You've ridiculed me to America. Let's move on. This is not a democracy here. This is a dictatorship, people.
My next pick is something I'm going back to from last week that should have happened, but it didn't happen. Steelers -1. The Steelers were robbed of a cover last week. There should not have been an offsides call on that blocked kick that was returned for a touchdown. Both players were timed the snap count perfectly. The replay, if you watched the game like I watched it, backed it up. No questions asked. I get it. I'm a Steelers fan. You're not supposed to bet on your team. Steelers are not a great team. I am fully aware of that. Big Ben looks like he's got the Cam Newton noodle arm syndrome, as Morgan likes to say.
I do. But I very much do.
When you break it down, the Broncos haven't beaten anybody. They're 3-1, but they haven't beaten anybody.
Broncos are very overrated.
they're the most overrated team in the league. Then they got exposed last week by not even a great Ravens team. This line was made for people who look at box scores and look at standings, but don't watch the games. The Steelers defense is going to eat alive whoever that quarterback is, whether it's Drew Lock or if it's Teddy Bridgewater. Give me the Steelers winning by at least a touchdown. I like the under in this game, but there's no shot I'm going to ever place a bet on the under when it's 40. It's just never going
Yeah,
to
I
happen to
saw it
me.
at 39.5, and I was like,
Yeah, no
yikes.
shot.
I don't have the balls to touch that.
I like it. I think it's going to hit, but
I do too, but that's too low for me in an NFL game
yeah,
to go that low.
for sure. To me, this is just a game where the Steelers defense, the special team, just finds a way to win the game, and the Broncos offense will not be able to do much. Quick stat: Broncos 2-5 against the spread in the last 7 road games versus a team with a losing record. A little interesting. They play down to the competition. That's all I got for that. I
like
love
that.
that.
No, I like that. I like that pick also. Take that for what it's worth. But I do like that pick. I would be
I
on
hate
the
that
Steelers.
pick now.
I know.
I flipped it.
Juju completely, but I do like that. I would probably roll that as well. I'll stay as far away as I can get. Yeah, you can kind of deport me to some other country or something, and I'll just get as far away. All right. Next pick that I'm going to have, and I know you don't like this pick, but I'm sticking with it. I believe in it. I like it. I like my backup behind it. Saints laying 2 points against the Washington football team. What do you got, another bug now?
The window's open. I can't do anything about it.
Yeah, Saints laying 2 against Washington. Washington barely escaped week 4 with a win over the Falcons. They got very lucky. The Falcons did a Falcons, what they did what Atlanta does best, where they just give away the game at the very end. Classic Falcons where they collapse and everything. The Washington got gifts from the football gods in the form of 21 points, all on plays that were over 30 yards that were just massive, including a massive kick return. Things that just don't happen. Kick return, especially, just doesn't happen in today's NFL. It's not something. It's never going to happen. Tyler Heineke's played nice. I'm not a Heineke guy. They just lost Logan Thomas to IR. That is going to be a very big loss for them. You're seeing a team that is just a little bit beat up. You're seeing injuries start to mount up. It's already been well documented. This defense that everybody was talking about in the beginning of the season, very vaunted, has not played very well. They have struggled. This defensive line that is loaded with talent has not been getting a ton of pressure on the quarterback. Chase Young hasn't done a ton. Montez Sweat hasn't done a ton. Jonathan Allen hasn't done a ton. Matt Ioannidis hasn't done a ton. The Saints are going to be without their center, Eric McCoy, in this game. That's a big loss. Anytime you lose your center, that's a problem. However, they're going to be getting back all-pro left tackle Terran Armstead. That is a massive get to get him back, to have someone who, no matter which one of those guys, Young or Sweat, you throw over there to stand up against them. They have a pretty good right tackle as well in Ryan Ramczyk. He's not too bad. He's also an all-pro. So they have the tackles that can go against them. Their guards in the middle with Andrews Pete, they can hold up against the likes of Jonathan Allen. So I love the trench play in this game for the Saints. What I love most about this game, Sean Payton in his career, he's 48-26 against the spread coming off of a loss. He's also, outside of the Superdome, 25-10 against the spread coming off of a loss. And in their last 9 games as the favorite, Saints are 7-2 against the spread. I love the Saints in this game. I think this is where my boy, Jameis Winston for MVP. We're going to show it again this week right here. So give me Saints -2.
If you say so. I tend to disagree. It's just a gut feeling. I don't have any play in this game whatsoever. I do think it's a Jameis bounce back game, a Jameis coming out party, but Heineken's playing good. Heineken's playing real good football. It is their problem is that they can't stop anybody. That's the only problem. They can't stop anybody.
It's a big problem.
Yeah. Do you have any more picks before I get into my teaser?
Yeah, I got one more. Like as always, as I've told every week, there will be one more pick in the article that I don't talk about tonight. You can take a look at ffdpodcast.com and find the article up there. It's pretty much all finished at this point. I just have some final touches to do, and then my editors are going to do what they do best and clean up my grammatical errors and my vulgar language. So I will have another one in there. You'll also see my record at the bottom of it, which is miserable. So you can ignore that part if you'd like. But when you find it, give it a nice little heart. Give it a nice
I have
little
not
like
been
and
putting your record
subscribe.
down at the bottom.
I appreciate that. That's a man of honor right there. That's a real friend right there who doesn't want to see want to see his boy be hurt. He's seen his boy down bad of late. He doesn't want to see him down further bad. He doesn't want me kicking the can down the street. He doesn't want me being the can. He wants to see me rise. My last pick that we will talk about tonight, though, is going to be the Ravens Colts under 46 points. Mainly this game right here. This game is going to come down to quarterback play. As much as I love my boy Carson Wentz, he's not that good anymore. He's not MVP Carson Wentz anymore. He's become a dink and dunk Sam Bradford kind of quarterback where he's kind of glass and he doesn't push the ball anymore. He's only averaging 8.9 yards per throw. He's one of the lowest numbers in the entire league. He doesn't push it. That offense doesn't really have the guys to push the ball either. The receiving core really isn't that great. Jonathan Taylor is a nice running back, but you can only do so much when your quarterback's not really helping you out too much. Offensive line, losing Quentin Nelson, who's the best guard in football, is massive. That will destroy him. We've seen Carson Wentz just fall apart. That offensive line has not done a very good job protecting him so far this season. Take it to the other side of the ball, Lamar Jackson. He's still a running back pretending to be a quarterback. He's done some nice things this year and everything, but he's still extremely erratic on his passes. We don't know where they're going to go half the time. Even the touchdown that he had to Marquise Brown this past week, he overthrew him by a ton. He just happened to throw it to the fastest guy on the field who was able to track it down and make a diving catch for the ball. So I like that aspect of it. The Colts, they seem to find themselves a little bit last week, but they took advantage of a very bad Miami Dolphins team. Go even after that game, they're still averaging 20.8 points per game this season. Ravens are only averaging 26.2 points per game, and they played lesser quality defenses. This team, Colts defense, Ravens defense, they haven't played well. They still have the talent. They still have on paper what should be very good defenses. Colts led by Darius Leonard and what the fuck is that defensive tackle's name? Not Eric Armstead. What's the guy that Niners traded them? I'm drawing a blank on his fucking name. That's going to bother me a ton. It's literally right there, too. I'm just drawing a blank. But the Colts have some pieces on this defense where they can play well. Darius Leonard is an all-pro. Ravens defense, we know what the Ravens defense has. I couldn't say the guy's name to save my life, but their first-round pick out of Penn State is a rush outside linebacker. He's been playing extremely well for them. Marlon Humphrey is still an all-pro cornerback. They have some bodies out there to slow any game down that's being moved on them. The defenses, they're tied for 20th in the league, giving up 5.8 yards per play, but they do have the talent there to stop what's going on. What I love about this game, there's a lot of history between these two teams when they play each other. The under has hit 12 out of the last 13 times these two teams has met, and it's 8 straight matchups the under has hit with these two teams. Give me the under to continue. Let's roll that streak there. It's going to keep going.
Yeah, I like I told you before, I can't get a good grip on that game, so I'm staying away. I do lean the under. I do think it's not a bad pick. My teaser, though. I'm going to do it quick. I need to close this window. I need to get out of here. I have the teaser, and then I also have a play on the fight this weekend.
I gotta say, the fact you keep looking over your shoulder, like where these bugs are at.
Because I have a window here and a window here, and I have my headphones in, I can't tell.
You're living my personal hell right now. I'm afraid of all bugs. That would be my hell.
It's not fun. I don't like it. It's not fun. Anyway, I'm going Cowboys -1, teasing it from the 7 down to the 1, getting through the 6, getting through the 4, getting through the 3. And the Bills plus from 2.5 up to 8.5. If you have the 2, bring it to 8. If you have the 1.5, bring it to a 7.5. But if it gets down to 1, don't tease it. It's not worth it. It's all about getting in between those football numbers, getting through those numbers makes it a profitable bet. If you're just teasing just to get an extra 6 points, it's like say you're teasing -5 to a -11. I'm sorry, -5 to a +1. You're not doing anything. You're not doing anything. You just think they're going to win the game. The whole idea of the teaser is to get through the correct numbers. Maybe one of these days I'll bring in how to correctly tease like a tease an over under. It's much more difficult. It's only
Oh,
very
am I
very
hearing a
certain
new birth of
spots.
a Degenerate series?
No, it's not even that. It's just yeah, it's tough. Like there's certain numbers that I find it okay to, but most I don't, and I very rarely do it. Like I'll almost never give it out on the show. But like I'll do it like on a one game, like on a Monday night. I'll take one team and I'll take the over, just to have some action on it. But I don't recommend it to anybody. So the teaser, for the record, Cowboys -1, Bills +8.5. We're 3-0, looking to go 4-0 on the teasers. Easy money. It's not easy. Nothing's easy in the NFL. There's specific spots. If you don't like the Cowboys, I had another one. Let me pull it up. Because last week I gave you because the Bengals. By the time we were recording on Thursday, and the Bengals were already playing. So I gave out the Colts. That also won. Colts wound up winning outright in that. Oh, I also like the Patriots. If you want to tease something and you don't like one of the two options, Patriots are -9. I actually lean the Patriots to win by double digits as well. Um, but at -9, you're teasing it through the 7, the 6, and getting it at 3. So if it goes down to 8.5, which it looks like it might, it's a great number. If you get down to 8.5 and you tease it down to 2, 2.5, that's perfect. So keep an eye on that line, see where it goes. And then real quick, Tyson Fury by knockout -110 Saturday night. If you're afraid, dude, Fury money line. I'll give out my official picks on Saturday night when right before fight time, because that's a big fight. I've been waiting for this, waiting for the trilogy, but it is what it is. I love Tyson Fury. If you want more info on that, just DM me on Twitter. I'll gladly talk boxing with anybody at any time. I know there's not many boxing fans out there anymore, so it's more of a niche kind of thing. Mr. Mo Watts, you have anything before we close the show out?
Yeah, last two things since we're talking about it. Obviously, they won't be anything crazy with it right now. I have college football for Thursday night. I do have two plays already for that. Coastal Carolina -19. I also have Houston -6 against Tulsa. I have that in a parlay with one another. I think Coastal Carolina is the number 15 team in the country. They are phenomenal. They're going to put up a crap ton of points. I think, what's it against? Arkansas State, our favorite team.
Oh God.
Oh God. So they're just going to destroy them. There's a lot of prop bets up there. Will Coastal Carolina break 50 or 60? So it's going to be a bloodbath. So I have a parlay on those two teams together. Houston should be able to roll through Tulsa pretty easily, I think. So I'll have both of them. We'll talk obviously more college football tomorrow. I might look into this boxing fight as well, just because it's such a massive names, and I will be watching that fight. I'm very excited for it, and I'm sure we'll be talking about it the entire time also, which is going to be good. But that's about all I got for right now, my boy.
Yeah, I just know my opinion on the fight, and I know how it's gonna go. Usually, I wait until Saturday to figure out what round, because I like to take the props of what round somebody's gonna knock somebody out. I think it's fun. I think it's something to root for. I usually take like 3 or 4 of them, spread my money out evenly. By Saturday, I'll know. I might tweet it out. They're not like true picks. It's just for fun. It's just a couple beer monies, here and there. But the true pick is going to be Fury by KO -110. It's going to be the same thing as last time. Fury's just a better fighter. There's nothing you can do in 18 months to teach somebody who can only punch real hard how to box. It's that simple. Yeah, that's it for the show tonight. We'll be back tomorrow. College football. Hopefully, I don't get cucked by some cuckers, and hopefully, Miss Mo Watts can turn this NFL season around. Like, follow, subscribe. Betting Diagonal, Fantasy Football Degenerates, Mr. Mo Watts at Mo Watts 26, Mr. Greg Gersh at Gersh Greg, Mr. Billy Wilson, Billy FFD. That's it. We'll see you fuckers tomorrow.
Good night, knuckleheads.